let's go to BNB. Why not? We'll go to this article right here from Cointelegraph about BNB basically putting up $1 million worth of rewards. So basically incentives to attract meme coin devs. I mean, we just saw a lot of meme coins are on fire. I mean, they have been. There's no two ways about that. And whether or not I like meme coins is regardless. The point is that meme coins are one of those entry spots for a lot of people coming into the cryptocurrency space. And yeah, here's BNB not wanting to miss out on that inflow of money. So to that end, they're putting up $1 million. I'm going to guess that most people that are in this live stream here right now are pretty much familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in the financial and business space for decades now. I want to say since the early 90s, I think. And as a matter of fact, I think that's when he wrote his book. That book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, was in the early 90s. And he has come around to be a bitty. Oh my goodness. And I'm not even drinking. Can you imagine what's going to go on for Crypto on the Rocks? Oh, when I am drinking, right? Believe me, this is just water. So yeah. Robert Kiyosaki put out a tweet, which we're going to look at in a minute. It was picked up here on this, in this article here on Feinbold or Finbold, whatever, basically breaking down what he said. It gave a little bit of background right here. His personal finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, etc. Robert Kiyosaki has become a pretty big Bitcoin bull. And he has no shame in saying stuff that I've been putting in a lot of live streams about saying the government's deficit spending is just out of control. You know, they're spending like drunken sailors. And again, not trying to put words in his mouth, but kind of trying to paraphrase and put his words, my words, all in the same bundle here. This guy is obviously rich in his own right, and so probably worthy of listening a little bit to what he's got to say when he's got something to say. So let's do this. Let's bring up the tweet that started this whole. So basically, this is the tweet that kind of started everything out here. He basically says the everything bubble is what he's calling basically everything that's being funded by fiat for the most part. Stocks, bonds, real estate set to crash. U.S. debt increasing by $1 trillion every 90 days. I mean, how I'm sorry, how insane is that? You know, we're sitting here watching our governments just like spend like drunken sailors, and they're doing nothing but robbing from our children and our grandchildren. I know most of the people that I have watching right now are in the United States, so you understand exactly where I'm coming from and what I'm about to say. But regardless, you follow, no matter where you are, probably different news coming out of the United States, especially with the anti-crypto army and all this other shit with Elizabeth Warren. So basically today, I want to highlight the dichotomy. You know, it's like the government is just bipolar on this shit. And again, it's because there are entities trying to influence what's going on. Again, the last bill that Warren submitted, she basically reached out to the banking association to write the bill for her. And that wasn't supposed to come out, obviously. That was like a snafu that came out at a fundraiser from her co-sponsor of the bill, who then after that said, that's all I know about crypto. Basically, this first article here is talking about how Uniswap dropped in trading. Obviously, once the information about the Wells notice came out, and again, I get it, but at this point, I don't know. It's one of those things that, you know, I get it. The SEC has wide, and the U.S. DOJ and the U.S. in general has wide-reaching influence across, the space, and because of its dominance around the world. However, they need to have their asses. Well, Gary's had his ass handed to him how many times, but they need to have it more, especially with regard to if something here happens with regard or comes out of this Wells notice, where, you know what, you are not the arbiter of the world at this point. Stick within your borders and deal within your shit. I've seen some people talk about this already over the course of the weekend, just to, okay, well, previous halvings have done this and so on and so forth. And I get that. And everything, well, up until now, a lot of the cycles had a bit of a rhyme to them, not necessarily a complete, exacting thing. And the amount of upside in Bitcoin has slowly gone down. But I mean, the price, if you are looking at purely price, obviously all-time highs after all-time highs. Now, I mean, if you've been around the space, already, this cycle is already different. It's already different. The normal consolidation and so on that normally precedes a Bitcoin halving event didn't really happen, or at least not the way it has in the past halving cycles. And this is Bitcoin's fourth halving cycle for those who have to, may or may not be new to the crypto space. This time, we reached all-time highs prior to the halving. So to me, that's just the indicator that this halving cycle or this bull cycle, where or after the halving, is going to be different. And think about it also. You've got a lot more in the way of adoption with regard to Bitcoin. You've got the ETFs, obviously. You have El Salvador in the mix. And I know some of you will argue, well, El Salvador is coming in on the last halving. And so, yes, you're correct. But now you've got even more countries and companies, for that matter, DCAing and looking to put Bitcoin, whether it's in their assets as their held assets, or taking it as legal tender. You aggravated yet? You live in the U.S. Are you aggravated yet? You should be. And guess what? Hang on. There's more coming. The IRS has now got to make sure. I mean, they got 87,000 new IRS agents. No new Border Patrol agents, but 87,000 new IRS agents. Because why? The idea is they want to milk us until we're dry. We are nothing but tax slaves at this point here in the United States, and it's only getting worse. And sadly, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize it. But I part of why I'm still here doing this, putting this information out. I know a lot of the people who are currently watching this live stream already know a lot of this information. So I appreciate your indulgence with me continuing on about this. But here's the thing. We need to be sharing this information. We need to be able to educate people. And I get it. We get in our lives, and we're just trying to survive, and some working 2, maybe even 3 jobs just to keep a roof over your head, food on the table, keep the kids clothed, and all this other stuff. I get it. I completely get it. And then when you come in at the end of the day, the last thing you want to be thinking about is how bad I'm being taxed, how the government is bending me over the table every time I go to the store, to the gas station, whatever it may be. And, then what do I do about it? And actually taking time to do the research about what to do about it. The IRS has released a draft of their new form 1099-DA. So to help report future cryptocurrency transactions. Now, there can be a lot of FUD about this, but the Digital Chamber of Commerce, oh my God, speak. I know it's Monday. Hold on. Let me swallow the last of the coffee here. And no, nothing in the coffee, just coffee. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I'm going to try and read this here. And I've got to put on my glasses because the print is so small. Again, As I always say, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy, interwebs. And because I'm an old guy, yeah, I need the glasses. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to just bring this up full screen, take myself off the screen. And yeah, you don't need to see this. Again, that's early draft release and the implications and feedback processes. On April 19th, the IRS shared a draft version of Tax Form 1099-DA that is designed to address the reporting requirements for transactions involving digital assets, particularly with respect to unhosted wallets. It is not set in stone yet. They're looking for your input to refine it. And believe me when I tell you, they really don't want our input. But here's the thing, the process that they have to follow is getting the public's input.